Good morning, everyone.
Oh, man.
I wore my jacket and a button-up shirt. Oh, looks like you wore one
I got
too.
a button-up shirt. I didn't get the memo on the jacket, but it's all right.
So the reason I did is because this is a celebration this morning. We did not expect, honestly, to be starting this live stream already having raised over $5 million.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so I'm Jordan Harmon, co-founder and president of Angel Studios. Neil Harmon, co-founder and CEO. And when we got started with this live, oh my gosh, Jesse just invested $9,970. Thank you so much for supporting this mission of telling stories that amplify light throughout the world. But when we started the crowd, this investment period, we started looking at it and we're just shocked because the current state of the world right now is a lot different than 2016.
Yeah, and as far as that goes, 2016, just for history, for those who haven't been here the whole time, in 2016, we learned about Regulation A offerings and how regular people could invest in our company. And then we asked our investors or our customers if they were interested in investing. And 2 weeks after, we got a big fat lawsuit from Disney, and we went back to all of the people who were interested in investing and said, "Hey, never mind. But if some of you want to put in just enough for us to survive, you're going to lose your money. But we need $5 million to fight the lawsuit." And we raised over $10 million in 5 days. And that
$5 million of that was in 29 hours.
The first $5 million was in 28 hours.
Yeah, which is incredible.
Incredible. And it was a different time as far as the economy. People were really excited about the product at the time. It was called VidAngel.
Yep.
And they wanted us to fight for families' rights. And it was truly a miracle when that happened. We were so blown away by the support, and it enabled that first group of 8,000 families enabled Angel Studios to be. After we settled the lawsuit with Disney, we renamed the company as Angel Studios, and we realized how magical that moment was because after we renamed the company, we did another Regulation CF round for just $5 million.
Yep.
It took like
6 days,
5 or 6 days to raise that money. And so,
which is still incredible.
Yes.
If you think about it. Like
Yes.
It's not that 5 or 6 days is a long time to raise $5 million. It's amazing. But when you have those expectations, like, well, the first 5 came in 28 hours, but that was still incredible. Then the economy's changed even more. Like right now, there's just so many people who are financially struggling. The costs of food and living have gone through the roof, and so we know that every dollar you invest is even more meaningful today than it was 3 to 4 and 8 years ago. And so we did not expect to wake up this morning and see that you guys invested $5 million again. And from the time we sent the first communication, it was less than
25
hours,
just over 24 hours.
It was between 24 and 25 hours,
Yep.
which was just thank you.
yes.
We are so grateful for your support and this mission because this is something that's bigger than us. Like we know that at this point. God's made it so abundantly clear throughout our history to make sure we realize that this is not just us. Justin from Virginia, $1,482. Thank you so much, Justin, for supporting this mission. We're so grateful. So anyway,
Angels,
it's a celebration.
Yes, and angel investors are, I think, not those who are coming in and investing today and over the last 24 hours. Those who invested after we settled the lawsuit with Disney, and then those who invested after we were sued by Disney. We're going to talk a little bit about The Chosen as well. But for this group to come to Angel Studios, we literally would not exist. We have the best investors in the world. Our company is named after you, and that was very genuine and intentional. And so thank you for being here, and you deserve a jacket. I did text Jordan, but he had a lot going on.
Brian, thank you for investing $900-something. Every dollar is so meaningful. It really does impact this future mission. But we're here for Q&A. We are here for any questions. You've submitted literally so many questions, so we're not going to be able to get to all of them, but we did prioritize them based on the frequency of being asked or that we thought was really meaningful. And it's a thank you so much from Texas. We are so grateful for your investment and support.
Let's see the first question.
Yeah, let's jump on the first question. Let's see what we got here. How's this pulling up on the screen? I see a bar that came out, but there we go. There we go.
What is going on between you and The Chosen?
Great first question.
Yes. Let's get that out of the way first off. Sadly, The Chosen terminated its agreement with Angel Studios, and we wish The Chosen, Come and See Foundation, and Lionsgate the very, very best moving forward.
We love that show.
Yes, we love the show, and that was such a critical part of Angel's history, and we were grateful to be part of that. I did notice, I'm going to jump right to the next question that I did see beforehand, and that is, what does that mean for Angel and our revenue? Well, for perspective, in 2022, The Chosen was over 90% of our revenue as a company. In 2023, that had dropped to 22%. And then by the time they terminated the agreement, it was about 10% of our revenue. And there's all of our reports, so there's quarterly reports now for Angel because of that 2016 investment that was made, and we have so many investors. Once we hit 50 million in assets, we had 2 years and 120 days to make the company public. Now, public can mean two things. Most people think it means that you're on a stock exchange, and we're not there yet. But it also means that you have to file reports with the SEC every 3 months, and we're doing that. We have the burden of being public.
None of them.
But the April 30th this year, we started that process, and so we filed our Q2 report earlier this month, and so it's all there. But you'll notice in our Q2 report, you'll see that the pay it forward revenues substantially have dropped from 2023 to 2024. That's related to The Chosen. But you'll notice other revenues that are growing. So, in fact, over the first 6 months of 2023, we did 39 million, and over the first 6 months of 2024, we did $45 million. So we actually, in spite of The Chosen and Angel parting ways, which, by the way, under our agreement, there is an appeal provision which was part of it, and we will see that through the process. But we're just assuming, from a business standpoint, that we're writing The Chosen to zero. We're not expecting it. If they were ever to come back together, that would be a plus. But it's not part of our plans, and it's truly miraculous for us and for this community that even though that we've needed to part ways, that we actually grew. In the meantime, so it's wonderful news. It's Angel Studios is just an endless story of unexpected things, challenges coming to bear, and then great people, and I think a lot of divine help helping us navigate through that. So thank you all who made The Chosen possible, and thank you for being here. We're cheering them on. So.
Yes.
Next question for Jordan.
Let's jump to the next question. Let's see. It's going to pop up here. It says, a fan asks, do you have to be a guild member? Great question. No, anybody can invest. You do not need to be an Angel Guild member, although we're going to talk a little bit about the guild. We can actually talk about that right now. Dorothy just invested $242 from Virginia. Thank you so much, Dorothy. Patricia just invested $1,996 from Texas. Patricia, thank you. We are so grateful for what you're doing. You do not need to be a guild member to invest. Absolutely go invest if you're a fan of this. Matter of fact, 90+%, it's like 99% of our viewers are not guild members. And our fans. We have literally over 100 million viewers across all of Drybar platforms that have viewed Drybar. We've got over 70 million viewers who have watched the Sound of Freedom and love that film. Tuttle Twins just passed 200 million views. So that you don't have to be a guild member to love Angel's content and what we're doing. But the super fans have become guild members, and they are helping us actually go in and choose what the next big hit is. You'll see on our offering page that we talk through that history and the power of the guild, and that they are selecting winners over and over and over again. Angel Studios, based on all the research we've done, is the highest audience-rated studio in the world. There isn't a higher audience-rated studio, but it's not because of us. Neil and I didn't go pick all these winners. It's because the Angel Guild went and pre-screened, and anybody can join the Angel Guild. You can join the Guild at any time. It's growing very, very rapidly. We're so grateful for the support. We just launched it publicly in October of last year.
Started the marketing.
Marketing of it.
Yeah.
And when we started the marketing of it, we were blown away by the adoption of these Guild members, not only wanting to contribute financially with the Guild membership that helps us fund new content, helps us get our theatrical releases out in a bigger way, but they also help us select the content. And so in the last, since October when we started marketing it, we've now built up an annual recurring revenue of it's coming up just past $36 million right now. And so it's blown us away. We're super grateful. It's obviously one of the many revenue streams that Angel looks at, but couldn't be more grateful for that. So no, you don't have to be a Guild member to invest in Angel. You can go to angel.com and invest anytime.
And to Jordan's point, in terms of hard times, Angel is there, and all of our content, some of it comes to the Guild first. They get access first, but then it eventually becomes free, and a lot of these shows are free. And those of you who are in a tight spot, when we were young, we didn't have the means to go to the movie theater. We didn't have the means to pay for. At the time, it would have been they had memberships where you could order Disney movies on a regular basis.
Or cable.
Or cable, and we couldn't afford that.
We had a hanger that we stuck in our TV to get us PBS. So that was our occasional television.
So don't invest anything unless you can afford to lose it. Let's be really clear on that. We're very excited about the future, and Angel's had a terrific history, but just don't invest anything unless you can afford to use it. And then just enjoy the benefits of the Angel Guild members and of the Angel investors if you're in a tight spot. My heart was touched by an elderly individual's comment who said that they're on Social Security, they want to help with the Guild, they want to help vote, they want to support, but they can't afford the $20 a month. So we're working on something right now where we're trying to make a way so that people who have means can give Guild memberships away to others, or to maybe invite their family to participate under their.
Connor from Idaho.
Hey, it's
Idaho. For those who don't know, we happen to be from Idaho. We're Idaho potato farmers, or at least we worked for some. Louisville, Florida, $998. Thank you so much for your investment. We could not be more grateful.
From potato farmers to film farmers.
That's right. That's right. Let's jump into the next question. Let's see what we got here. They're probably going to pull this invest section out. Okay. Fan asked, what if I was one of the original investors in VidAngel under Class B Common certified?
Then first off, we need a big, huge award right here, and to pass it through the screen
to you,
and everyone else who you represent. You're the reason Angel exists.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, the Class B Common is a special share, and it will always be a special share. You're supposed to be the one who cries on these
I'm
things.
usually the one who gets emotional.
So when we did the Regulation A offering in 2016, that offering saved the company. And at the time, the venture capitalists who backed our company were concerned with Class B and your ability, with you having voting rights. So initially, we didn't offer voting rights in that offering. But when we went through the settlement with Disney, we asked for your advice. You made such a wise decision that we decided to give not only voting rights, but super voting rights. Higher voting rights than even the founder shares have. So a Class B share gives 55 votes per share. And the purpose of that is that we need a moral compass as Angel grows as a company. We need people who have if someone was a big company was to try to acquire Angel and veer us off our mission because we're becoming successful, we need a group of people who aren't just motivated by money. These people put in over $10 million expecting to lose it. They cared about the mission of stories that we can watch together as a family that are consistent with our values. And so we decided to give that. Now that's our big award, is handing over
Super voting rights.
super voting rights. We look at it as like, the ring of power, Sauron's ring, that we needed to give that over to you before it became too tempting for Angel to become a powerful media company and for us to lose our way. So that's a special share. If you ever sell that share, then it converts to a 1 vote per share, because we feel like that original group are the ones we know that have that mission in mind. And then there'll be more financially motivated people who come in after. And in fact, this offering is a Class C share, which allows 1 vote per share. And but they both have the same economic rights. There are no difference in the economic rights. So the profits will be the same if there are profits, and the value of the shares, because the one converts to C, are essentially economically the same. But then one is just about holding on to the mission. So thank you for being part of that. If you ever need to sell your Class B share, then you will have the option to do so, and it will convert to a Class C share. So anyway, thank you again. Great question.
Let's jump into the next question. A fan asks, is there a price per share? Yes, there absolutely is. And Steve from Nevada, thank you so much. John from Arizona just invested $998. Thank you, John. Super grateful. I actually don't know the exact number.
I think it's $30.24.
I think you're right. So the price per share in this offering is $30.24. Reed from Utah, $1,482. Thank you so much, Reed. Isaac from California. Oh my gosh, these are just pouring in. $242. Thank you so much, Isaac. Could not be more grateful. So yes, price per share is $30.42 in this offering, and so that's an easy one to answer. Let's jump into the next question. I realize we don't have to have a story for every question, but we're going to tend to do that.
You know what? We should do a video. They're tired of hearing. So we already answered the question about The Chosen. Let's do a video. We've got a number of titles that are coming up in the near future. Let's go ahead. Which one do you want to do?
Let's jump in and show this one that's coming out actually next weekend. We have a trailer for Surprise by Oxford. Let's roll that video and give you guys a sneak peek.
Way more interesting.
This is a letter from the University of Oxford. It says I want a scholarship.
A full ride to Oxford? First time in the UK?
What gave it away? I have a lot to do, and I need to stay focused.
I think it's about time Dr. Drake loosened up. I second that notion. Cheers, ladies.
Your friends, they signaled to you before they left.
Signaled.
Like that.
Oh, God. TDH. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, well, he's proving to be quite the distraction. There's a lot you don't know about me.
I know, and it's killing me. Come on. Anyone ever told you that you're difficult?
Well, this has been great.
More tea, anyone?
This is why I'm here, to work and earn my doctorate, and someone explained to me that I was in danger of losing my scholarship. Whatever you think this is, I can assure you, you're wrong.
You wear this brave face, but inside you're just as scared as everybody else.
You do not know what I've been through.
You pour over the words of dead people, but you don't let yourself feel those same things.
The strength you speak of, perhaps you're looking for it in the wrong place.
Talk to him.
Why?
Because you love him.
So what happens now?
That's the question, isn't it?
Welcome back.
Next Friday, you're going to be able to stream that in the Angel Guild exclusively. It's an incredible film. The Guild approved it. They loved it. It's such a beautiful film, and we're so excited to share it with you. When we were going through the process of setting up this offering, when we put up the graphic, you can see on the offering that there's actually slated. So slated is a term that we use when we actually set a date for something. We may not publicly announce the title, but we have a date set there because there's a specific film or TV show that we're going to launch that date. Mm-hmm. We realize that there is slated over 20 projects before end of next year, which is amazing. That means we're gonna release more projects in the next 12 to 18 months than we've done in the last 6 years. which is absolutely incredible. So that's all thanks to you guys, and it's thanks to the Angel Guild and to the investors and everybody who's a part of this. So we're super grateful. Let's jump into the next question and dive right into it. What do we got here?
While they're pulling that one up, I can read off one here. This person says, I'm trying to invest via a self-directed IRA, but when I fill out the form on your site, it doesn't allow me to submit this. Submit button doesn't do anything. Is this a website issue or am I doing something wrong? I have filled out all the appropriate fields. So I did reach out to the tech team about this morning, and they said they're working on it right now. It is a website issue for self-directed IRAs, and it should be fixed promptly. So great question. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. We'll get that fixed for you.
Thank you so much. Let's jump to the next question. What do we got here? Fan asks, why do you need my social security number? That is a great question. So this is a securities offering. And so we're actually selling securities, and the SEC requires that when we sell these type of securities that the Angel doesn't actually store your information. We don't store that social security number. It's not something we want or need. It's just something that the SEC needs and FINRA needs to actually go and validate that you are authorized to even go and make an investment in a security. So not a function of Angel wanting your social security number. It's more of a function of just the regulatory environment that we have to live in. So that's why it's required and asked for. Let's jump into the next question. Let's see. A fan asks, does Angel Studios ever plan on paying dividends? You want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So dividends are not part of our plans as a company for the foreseeable future. Our plans are all around growth, gaining audience size and market share. And so any profit, like we had, I think, just over $9 million in profits last year, and we've just reinvested those, plowed those back into technological innovation, marketing, and content, and we plan to do so for the foreseeable future. So that's a great question, and
we're in the growth phase of our company. Yep. So when you look at growth phase companies back in history, whether it's Facebook or Amazon, there are many years that companies just don't have profits because they are intentionally deciding to grow and grab market share versus redeem profits. And so that's the phase that we're in as a company, and we've got a really interesting window right now because the market has kind of left this gaping hole for the type of content that we're fulfilling. And so we want as quickly as possible to go and serve that market and do it in the best way possible. So that's the foreseeable plan for the future.
yeah. So if you decide to invest, make sure you invest assuming that there will not be distributions. So thanks for that question. It's a great question.
Next question. Let's jump into it. A fan asks, will there be a third season of the Wingfeather Saga? And if so, when will it be released? That's a great question. Also a really exciting question.
It's so exciting. In fact, we had a live stream on this. Chris Wall and I had a live stream on this recently. You can find it in the Angel app. But we are pleased that season 3 of the Wingfeather Saga has been greenlit, and it will be coming out later next year. We do not have a specific date, but we are planning to now get onto a schedule where we're releasing a season every year at the same time. And we see that happening in the fourth quarter time frame of next year, and then we'll get on a cadence, which is really good news. My family loves that show from young to old, and we watch it with them. It's a touching saga, and it's really appropriate with some of the things that children face in modern society, for them to see a good, a positive example of a family coming together, facing challenge, overcoming challenge together. And it's beautifully animated, well scripted, A-list actors. Andrew Peterson is a singer-songwriter, so the music, like the closing song of season 2,
it's just incredible. It makes me cry.
Makes me weep. So it's called Carry the Fire. So anyway, we're all excited for that. Great question.
Laura, thank you from Florida for investing. I wish I could call all the names. There's so many coming by, so thank you, everybody. I'll keep calling them out when I see it. Nicholas, $998 from North Carolina. Thank you so much for your support. I've been blown away. We've been on this live stream for less than, what time is it? We've been on this live stream for less than 30 minutes, and we've already done $70,000 of investment in the last 30 minutes. It's just blowing my mind. So thank you so much. You can go to angel.com/invest and invest anytime. We appreciate it. Let's jump into the next question. We're so grateful for your guys' support. A fan asks, as an investor since 2016, how can I convert my original shares into these Class B?
I think it's more like 110,000.
Oh my gosh, it just went up
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
It's like
yours is not
100.
refreshing.
Mine's not refreshed. It's like 110,000. An investor asked, since 2016, how can I convert my original shares into these Class A shares? Neil actually already answered this a little bit earlier. Why don't you kind of reiterate for those who missed it?
So the shares that you're purchasing today will not be convertible to Class A. Class A is a share that's specific to our institutional partners, GigaFund, Alta Ventures, Kickstart Fund. So there's Class A, and it has 5 votes per share. There's founder shares. They have 5 votes per share. And then there's Class B. They have 55. These 3 groups are the ones that are kind of the governing the mission of the company. And then there's Class C, which is the share that's
Your
offered
2016 shares are Class B that have 55 votes per share.
today. Yes.
So, great question. Let's actually jump into another clip. I know we're probably boring you with all these questions, but we want to show you all the exciting things. Yesterday, we launched exclusively into the Angel Guild with our dear friend, Mike Rowe himself, who starred in a Tuttle Twins episode, his incredible new film called Something to Stand For. Let's roll that clip.
My name's Mike Rowe, and this is Something to Stand For. A film that celebrates a few extraordinary Americans who risked everything to build the nation we call home. Americans who gave us something to fight for, something to be grateful for. And today, all these years later, something to stand for. I thought I'd take a trip to our nation's capital, not too far from where I grew up, to reacquaint myself with the memorials and monuments built to honor the people in this film. In other words, it's a field trip.
And I'm glad you're along for the ride. Assuming the old truck makes it. It's going to be fine.
We love Mike Rowe.
I love the sound of his voice. I can just listen to him like endlessly.
I was showing, Dan and I were watching it a few days ago, the actual full film. And Dan's just like, why does he have such a mesmerizing, amazing voice?
Not only that,
his
like
voice is just so it's incredible.
Yeah, and then he has this vocabulary where he can take a topic that somebody else would
Find completely mundane.
mundane or even debased, and then he can elevate it by his language.
Yes.
That you just have to watch Stand for Something to understand. It's. My family watched it together. There were some surprises in there for sure.
But the guild loved it. It scored super high. Paul, thank you so much for investing. We're so grateful for your investment. Could not be more grateful. Vince, $242 from Pennsylvania. Thank you, Vince. We could not be more grateful. Charles, $302. Guys, this is so amazing to watch you guys support this mission and what we're doing. Like we talked about when we put up the slate for this offering to show what we had actually scheduled for the next 18 months, there are over 20 films and TV shows coming out over the next 18 months that have been slated. Some unannounced that we'll obviously get to throughout the next weeks and months, but it's very, very exciting. Let's jump into the next question and keep diving into this. Kelly, $151 from Virginia. Every dollar is so meaningful. Thank you, Kelly. We know.
What is your
times are.
cash burn? Great question.
What is your cash burn? There you
Yeah,
go.
and I saw somebody ask about that because our Q1 report had way higher cash burn than previously. So let me just jump right to the cash burn question. So right now, our cash burn is $1 million a month. So that can be moved to cash flow neutral on demand, but we've chosen not to do that. We want to continue to grow. A lot of that's going into growth for the guild. We've had some huge breakthroughs on the guild, and the money that's being invested in this round will help accelerate that growth that's happening in the guild. So we're very excited about that and the prospect. So what our goal is to build an organization that's large enough to release say 12 theatrical releases a year, and be able to market those and support those, along with an equivalent set of series and seasons, and just really provide lots of impact on the world with the stories that we're telling. And that creates a large team, and we kind of have to, there's a chicken and an egg kind of scenario there, where in order to get there, we have to do some investment spending. And so we're choosing to do that, and we're grateful for this investment because it's going to help us get through the growth that we need to get to in the latter half of this year. So as far as Q1, as you all know, there was some misunderstandings and disagreements with The Chosen. Anytime you get lawyers involved, it costs lots of money. There was our arbitration proceeding. And then on top of that, we had one contract for a film that required us, which is not the Angel way. Our Angel has a model that's completely centered around spending exactly what a title needs based on data. And we've released 7 titles in the theaters and done this incredibly successfully. But before we learned about this process, we signed a contract like at the beginning when we were starting the theatrical space, where we gave a guarantee on the amount of marketing we would spend, and we missed. We spent too much marketing for how much that film would support, and so that shows up in the Q2 report, but it's not something that will be repeated. The other cash burn will be very strategic. So,
and this is a unique space because unlike a lot of industries, film and TV, you're investing in things that you won't see returns on or meaningful revenue for sometimes 9, 12, 18, 24 months. And so there's just a lot of projects that are in development that we're building infrastructure for and helping get them to the finish line so that you guys can enjoy these incredible TV shows and films.
And the way that the business models this is they do it what's called a 10-year ultimate, where when you launch a title, the copyright sees a pattern and series of windows of distribution that generate revenues, and that happens over a 10-year period. So it requires some investment.
Yeah, that's right. Great question, though. Okay, let's jump into the next question. Let's see what we got here. Fan asks, what is the price per share? How many shares outstanding? We already answered the price per share, which is $30 and, oh man, I already forgot it.
It's $30.24. There's just under 30 million outstanding shares. So the pre-money valuation on this offering is $906 million. And for perspective, that's roughly it's a 4 point, I think, don't quote me on this, it's just over 4 times our trailing 12 months of revenue. And for perspective, Netflix is currently trading at 8.2 times trailing 12 months. So we consider this an opportunity and for all of our investors, and we're excited for you those of you who can afford to, and those of you who can afford to lose some money, because nothing's guaranteed, for you to invest at this price. So, yep. Great question.
I think we have 1 or 2 more questions that we're going to finish up, and we'll show you one more sneak peek of projects to come. Let's see. A fan asks, is this an income building investment beyond supporting the ministry?
I'm glad you asked that.
Yes. The answer is 100% yes. We are not a nonprofit. This is, obviously we're grateful for the impact that our films and shows have, and we're grateful for the impact that nonprofits have in their ministries and what they do. But Angel is a for-profit organization that is building a sustainable business model that allows for us to send these shows and films to every corner of the earth.
As a show becomes profitable, it reaches more people. So sometimes one would say, well, if you want the message out, you shouldn't worry about making a profit. But we at Angel, we very much see it the opposite, that the messages that we're getting out, we need to make them profitable. We need to make them successful. We need to nail the messaging and the marketing
to get the broadest reach,
and refine the story so that the guild loves the story, to get the broadest reach possible, because that's what we want, is for these to impact people throughout the entire world.
Is that the last question, or is there any more questions? I think no more questions. Okay. Well, guys, first of all, thank you for celebrating with us this morning. Well, it was amazing to wake up and see that we
thought we would do 5 million by Tuesday. When we launched this on Friday.
Yes.
That's what we told our board and investors. And
Tara, thank you so much for investing.
mostly because in 2021, when we opened up a round, it took about five or six days.
Yep.
So that's what we expected. But you guys are the best angel investors in the world, stepping up to help tell stories that amplify light.
Force, I love that name. $998 from Washington. Brett, $484 from Nevada. Thank you guys so much for your contribution, your investments. And in terms of a sneak peek of shows that are to come, we want to leave you with this. We want to thank you for amplifying light with your voice. For those of you who can invest, you are still having an impact just by watching Angels shows, sharing them with friends and family, and joining the Angel Guild if you can. It's
And
such
even
a meaningful thing.
redeeming pay it forward tickets and going to the movie
100%.
for free and then telling others about it.
Yes.
All of that helps.
All that has impact. So keep up the great work. Margaret, $484 from New Hampshire. Thank you so much. So we're going to leave you with this special clip. Any last words you want to say, Neil?
I would say join us in having a wonderful weekend. Angel, because of all of you, has a beautiful future ahead. And we have so much more to share with you over the coming weeks and months. And so join us in the journey if you can afford to. You're the reason this has happened. It wouldn't be Angel without you.
Thank you.
Yes!
After today, our lives will never be the same.
I'm ready for anything.
You go and rescue those kids.
You may need to just let go.
Make sure no harm comes to our son.
Try to hold your breath.
I got your back for life.
Love is kind. Love protects.
My whole life flashed in front of me.
Want to know a secret? The world is too small for what I intend to do.
Hear that? That's the sound of freedom.
Don't forget, we have a secret weapon.
We invite you to pay for someone else who might not otherwise see this movie.
That's what I do.
How do you say worked in Mandarin?
成功了.
成功了!
No, but yes.
Here we go. I can help her out of the dark.
Thought you said it was impossible.
You cannot change the past, man.
We need your help.
22 families want to adopt.
What's happening with Possum Trot has the attention of the state.
There shouldn't be a child without a home.
We have devised a plot to assassinate the Führer.
My country was invaded from within.
America's just been attacked.
Everyone wondered how the world ended.
Are you scared?
This is the story of how it began. Again.
It's my job to look after the sheep. It's God's to look after me. Oh, how do we defeat them when we're outnumbered 10 to 1?
Send me an angel. Send me an angel.
And I thought you were new at this.
Right now. Right now.
Be strong and courageous.